was a very interesting subject matter, I'm sure, by the book and the screenplay. There was something interesting for you. What resonated mostly?
Ooh, trying to deal with suicide, trying to deal with a character who was so mangled and broken and was kind of prickly and rude, to make him likable, to find a path through that with humor. The whole package was really intriguing. Nick Hornby is someone who I admire as a writer, and Jack Thorne, who did the adaptation, did a fantastic job of bringing this to the page as a screenplay, and that Nick, bestowed on him that gift was fairly evident in the writing. There was a good balance. The players involved, Tony Collette, Aaron,
the dynamic
Imogen.
of everybody together.
And then, as a French director, Pascal Chamel, So it was an intoxicating brew, and I was very pleased to be asked to play within this world. And I could understand the part. I could understand this man who's dealing with fame, who wants fame.
Who's always a public person. He doesn't know how to be personal. He's always
on
a TV presenter,
showing off. And so I looked at a lot of guys' work, TV presenters that I know, and ones that I've grown up with, and I found one that I thought was rather jolly and good.
I live in the UK, I might recognize who that is.
Yeah, you would. And the irony of it was I was in the south of France, and I was up at the Colin d'Or restaurant. I was by myself. I was on another film, and I just drove up there to have lunch, and I was working on this, thinking about this and researching it, and this guy showed up. he was right across. He was so cheery and wonderful. It was very funny. As I stood up, actually, I bumped my head on the tree. Anyway, completely other story. So there you go. I did do some research and thought about it. Actually, I did think about it. And
yes, you did more thinking than he does as a character.
yes, so there you go. I just loved the character. I loved him, and I love that they become this family. And Tony becomes the mother figure. I become the father figure, and they become the young adults. So. And as a quartet, as players, we really grew very fond of each other.
Does the dynamic of the four of you create the tone for the film? Would it have been different if it was other actors, in your opinion? Of course.
You answer that question yourself. There you go. I said that without moving my lips. Sure. I think the dynamic was meant to be. You become the characters. We became the characters. When you're opposite someone like Tony Collette, you have reality there. When you have Imogen, you have reality. When you have Aaron, you have reality. And they make me real. They made Martin Sharp, Pierce Brosnan, Martin Sharp, real. So that's the gift, that's the joy. And they all have such humanity and such beauty to them.
They're organic, they're true.
Yes, very much so. And I think we all played off of that. And led by Pascal.
Just like in Ghostwriter and this one, it deals with how the press is obsessed with celebrity or creating some sort of reality. Does fame help you? The more famous you are, the more you know how to manage this, how to deal with it on a day-to-day basis?
I don't know. Fame is a dangerous thing. It doesn't sit well on some people's shoulders. As a younger man, I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be a movie star. I wanted to be up there, and then you get it. And it's like, what do you do with it, and how do you deal with it, and are you any good? And it doesn't necessarily make you feel happier. It gives you something, but can take a lot away at the same time. So ultimately, you just get on with the work and keep it as simple as possible. Within the context of this film, yes, Martin sails close to the flame. And he still wants it. He still wants it at the end. He's still narcissistic fellow, you know, that he would kind of, they ask him, your children or fame?
And he's like, how do I be polite about this?
Well, kids will grow up, yeah, I want to be famous. That's like, but that's funny. I mean, that's really funny. So that's why he's kind of likable and lovable.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's stupid.
You don't hate him, you just,
You don't hate
laugh
just,
him off.
Yeah, completely. So that's the trickery of trying to play that kind of character.